Afternoon all. Right, so I've just been reading this thing about Strictly, and there's some sort of controversy going on because somebody's broken a fingernail. It's also, oh my God, hot news, you know. But it just took me back to the 80s and working on the film jobs that I worked on. And I remember one time getting cast in a thing called The Firm. And the idea, the film was like a football hooligan film, and Gary Oldman had the lead role. There was Phil Davis, and I was in his gang, which was the Millwall gang. Gary Oldman was the West Ham, and then there was a Birmingham gang. And basically, we've been on this for a little while, and we're in this this one scene, and it was basically in a Tower Hotel in London, and it was a red hot sunny day, and we're in this room, and there was about 30 of us all standing on each other's toes. It was in a tiny little 10 by 10 room. There's cameras in there, the big film lights and everything. The window was shut 'cause it was for noise, for double glazing and all that. So we're in this room, and we're doing this scene, and it's like, the idea was Gary Oldman's going to you, right, I'll see you lot Tuesday, I'll see you lot next Wednesday, and I'll see you lot next Friday, and we're going to see who's going to be the top dog, and we're going to go out to Germany, and we're going to do a lot of them, you know? So that was the sort of idea of the scene. So basically, you got the three mobs all mobbed up, and all of them wanting to be the top dog, you know? So they're doing this scene over and over again. So basically, how filming works is you'll do like lots and lots of angles of the same thing. So imagine I'm Gary Oldman doing that bit, going, I'll see you fucking lot Tuesday, I'll see you lot Wednesday. There's a shot on me, and then it will go over to Phil, and then they'll be feeding each other's lines, and then you got the third character, and then shots of everybody, little wide shots, eyes, all this sort of stuff. So you're doing the same scene over and over and over again. So we're in this room, we've been in there like hours, and we're all on each other's toes. It's red hot, we're really pissed off. And the thing was, Alan Clarke, who was a director, was a really good director, and it was a really sort of method, and he would get people really into the character, so you really get to become this role. He'd made a really good film called Scum just previously to that, which was all about like ball stools, and you know, he was a master at these sort of like real gritty British working class thuggery type of thing, you know. So anyway, we're doing this thing over and over again. And then eventually, at the end of this scene, the shot is the West Ham lot are going out of the room to leave. So as they're walking out, they start going, yeah, you fucking what, and all that. And somebody, in fact, it was a guy called Charlie Lawson's, thrown a punch and whacked one of my mobs. So I just jumped onto him, gave him a clump, and then I've got him by the neck, and I'm holding him against the wall like this. And I thought, fuck, I'm sacked, you know. So I looked round and I saw Alan Clarke. He's going, he had this sort of habit. He used to brush his hair back like this, going, film it. And I thought, fuck, great. So we piled in, and there's this fucking almighty scrap goes off in this room. There's this really posh glass table gets smashed. His pictures get ripped off the wall. Everyone's kicking off, fists are going everywhere. And once it all cleared, I mean, it probably only lasted maybe 30 seconds or something. But at the end of it all, there's this guy, one of these, and how they used to do it back then, right, the actors, you'd have like the top dogs, you know, like your Gary Oldmans and that would go to RADA. They were like your real sort of middle class, your top ones who paid a lot of money and went to the proper drama school. So they would get the lead roles, right? Your next level down would be your Italia Conte and your Anna Scher actors. Now these were two sort of drama schools, which I think was sort of down in East London, but it was your middle class kids that went there, people who had a bit of money, you know, mum and dad could pay for them to go there, and then they go at a drama school, and then they would get the next role. So they'd be your semi-lead roles, right? And then below that would be the low life, the scumbags, us, which were your real deal. So Alan would cast us lot because we were the real guys, and then we would be teaching the actors how to be us. And at the end, anyway, this big fight kicks off. And there's this one guy, and they've got him, someone had him by the neck, and he's against the wall, one of these Italia Contes, and he's like, oh, I wasn't paid to do this, I'm an actor, I'm not here to fight, oh, and he's crying like that. And they've got him by the neck, and they're holding him against the wall, and then it all sort of like cleared and all that, but it just reminded me of that, and I'm looking at this thing with the this Strictly, you know, and like, yeah, you got to think, you're so lucky to be in that situation. You're so lucky to be on television, to get paid, to have a career. You can live on these sort of like, you know, personal appearances for years after going on that, you know. So accept it and then deal with it and then understand where you are in life and how lucky you are. And all this fucking wokey bollocks that we're going through now, where everyone's offended by everything, you know. I mean, look at my T-shirt. weak and offended. The whole world is weak and offended. And do you know what? That same thing is another memory of that was I've given Charlie Lawson a clump, right? So at the end of this, where shall I go next? Yeah, there was another scene, right? We've gone down to Thamesmead down in southeast London, and we're down there, and it was lunchtime, so it was about 1:45, and I'm outside with a guy called Tip Tippin, who was a stuntman at the time. He was teaching us all the sort of screen fighting and all that sort of stuff. Real geezer. I think he'd been in the army and all that, proper geezer. And so me and him are outside. For some reason, I wasn't in the scene. They were in this club doing something with these strippers, and we were outside. So it was a nice hot sunny day. So we decided to go and get some grub from the grub wagon. So we go up to there to pick our food up. And as I'm getting served, there was a thing on there that said, principal actors, and, there was always, back then there was a lot of snobbery. So your middle-classy lead actors would get one bus, and all the low-life would get the other. But I was what's called a special extra in that. So I had a few little lines and a little bit of banter, and I was one of the main sort of guys. I wasn't just a guy sitting at the table in a pub, or someone driving a bus or walking by or whatever. I was actually one of the gang. So I was in this sort of no man's land. I don't give a shit anyway. I just wanted to get my food. So we go up there. Anyway, I'm at the counter getting served, and this hand comes on my shoulder. It starts pulling me back. What the fuck's going on? Hey, you're not a principal actor. Get to the back of the queue. Who the hell are you? Blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, mate, fuck off, will ya? He went, no, I won't. And he's grabbed me. So I fucking whacked him, right? Knocked him about 6 foot across his fucking car park. And I thought, oh shit, here I am, all sacked together. And he's going, you're never going to work again. You're never going to work. That's the last you're ever going to see of a film's up. Blah, blah. I said, oh, mate, fuck off. And anyway, I'm laughing and, But behind me, luckily for me, Gary Oldman was standing right behind me. And he saw what had happened. He said, listen, mate, he's going to be working. You're not going to be working now, mate. Fuck off. So he told the first AD to fuck off. So I just thought, oh, fuck it. So I get my food. And I go into the bus, into the actors one, with all the director and all that. And I sat right next to Alan Clarke eating my dinner, and I'll never forget this first AD walking backwards and forwards, holding his jaw going like this, Because the thing is, them ponces, those ADs, those first ADs always come from down the Thames, like Richmond and places like that, and they'd gone to these really posh schools, and they were going to be BBC, getting buggered at the BBC, for a while, or they were going to work on film sets and stuff. And it was a real snobbery. I mean, with us, they used to just treat us like dogs, but we just took their money and had a great time. It beat working for me. It beat working on a building site, which was my alternative. And I remember towards the end of that job, like I say, I've been on it for maybe a month or so, and the last scene, we're in a place called Bethnal Green in East London. We're in this pub, and we're in this pub, and the final scene is the West Ham attack the pub. And the shot is either Gary or Phil, one of them two, I can't remember which, but one of them shoots the other. And I'm in the pub, and so as they're attacked, we're all fucking fighting to get out. So I go running out the thing, and fucking Phil Lawson, he's there with this baseball bat, right? And I'm sure he remembered me clumping him, right? So every time I go running by him, he whacks me on the back with this bloody baseball bat. It was like rubber, but it had like a metal down the thing, but it was like a soft one, but you get hit the same place like time and time. I mean, we must have done this scene 30 times, and I'm getting whacked every time I go up to him and go try and move so he hits me in a different place, but he bam gets me every time. And then I run out of the thing. But what I was the whole point of that is that was acting. That was what we used to do like every job we were on, and I loved it. But these people, you've got to understand, life's about living it, and you're in a chapter right now, so live that chapter. And all this bullshit about, oh, I'm offended, oh, somebody's hit me and somebody's mistreated me in a dance competition, it's like, come on, live your life, this wokey bullshit world we're living in where everyone's offended by everything. Come on, let's have it.